What would you do if your best friend was cheating on their spouse? She was for a while. Her marriage had been in shambles for a long time, and the majority of it wasn't her fault. Her husband had some serious anger management issues and war-related PTSD. She and her husband tried counseling, and he simply stopped going when he heard things he didn't want to hear. He wouldn't take his meds. She just kind of quiet quit and shared a home and co-parented with him while also living her life. Their life situation at the time made it hard for her to just leave. Not impossible, but very difficult. So when she told me she was seeing someone else, I at least understood why, even if it wasn't okay. I had been cheated on myself, and it's hard on the other side of it. So I kind of wished she hadn't told me and put me in that position. I wrestled with it for a bit, but essentially said that it wasn't a solution to her problems, and while I wasn't covering for her, I also wasn't going to tell her husband. I won't pretend this was entirely noble. At the time, I was mostly worried she wouldn't have been safe. He had never physically hurt her, but he had absolutely hurt others, and I knew what he was capable of if this sent him over the edge. And I was equally worried he might hurt himself. I knew I wasn't going to talk her out of it anyway, because it was the first sign of life in her that I had seen in years, so I mostly pushed her to see a counselor. And that was my trade-off for silence. I'm not sure I would have told him either way, but if it got her to finally go, I don't feel bad about suggesting I would. She did end up going and was grateful I pushed her to go. She eventually ended the affair, and ironically, her husband found out months after it was over. This was actually the thing that finally pushed him to go back to counseling with her and made him decide to take his meds. He held a grudge against me for a long time because I knew and didn't tell him, and I don't really blame him. I think holding a grudge against me was easier than holding one against her, and it was a hit I was willing to take if it meant they might be happy eventually. None of it was particularly good, and I still don't know that I handled it correctly, but thankfully it seemed to work out in the end. They just celebrated their 18th anniversary, and they are doing pretty well.